Have you ever been called an asshole for something your character did?
The campaign was Tomb of Annihilation. The point at which I was called an asshole actually wasn't at the table. It was actually on Facebook when I told this story. The people at the table were actually extremely understanding and appreciative of what transpired. We were in the Temple of the Nine Gods at the end. And throughout the temple, other player characters had accumulated these aspects of gods, which gave them some kind of flaw. So after we defeated this giant slod, it was my character's opportunity, as he picked up this little metal silverish egg, and the DM gave me notes saying that my character was now selfish and greedy. Whatever he got, he wanted to keep for himself, which is actually counter the character, because my character, Nine of the Misty Seas, is a revenant tabaxi, swashbuckler rogue. He was a revenant, so his main motivation was getting revenge on the people who killed him. He had already taken out one of the people responsible for his death, and he had two more to go. This temple, he knew it was a one-way trip. He knew that this was going to be the end of his journey. As soon as he killed the people responsible for his death, he would meet his final death. After my character got this egg, we entered a small room with a table and a jar, and in the jar was a little person. So the fairy says, "Hey, let me out of this jar, I'll make you a deal. You can have whatever you want." So speaking as Nine to this fey creature, I say to the DM, "Anything I want?" And he says, "Yes, anything you want." This is a PC killer dungeon. There's insta-death everywhere. And as it was, with four of us, we were having a rough time getting through this dungeon. What was this party going to do when they were down their heaviest hitter? So I say to the DM, "I wish for the men responsible for my death to die." And he finally looks at me after a couple of minutes and says, "Okay, the beacons that you can see in your mind, your quarry somewhere deeper within the dungeon, you see them slowly snuff out." And he looks at the rest of the party and says, "You look at Nine. And as you do, you see him slowly turn to ash and crumble." And that was pretty much the end of the campaign. There was no way the three of them were going to make it through the rest of the dungeon. So yeah, my character died, and I kind of screwed the party over a little bit, but it was such a perfect ending. And we were all kind of chomping at the bit to start our new Wildemount campaign, which we had been planning for like a year anyways. Well, that's my story.